Hey guys, welcome back to another one. My name's Braden and I'm an artist. So, how to easily draw lips. The lips are comprised of 5 separate planes. 2 planes for the upper lip and 3 planes for the lower lip, according to the Asaro method. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the 3 most common angles that you'll encounter when drawing most any portrait. Those, of course, are a straight-on angle, a 3/4 turn angle, and then a profile angle. Yes. This is number 3 of a 3 video set that I have made for understanding the Asaro method as it applies to the facial features. So I have one out for understanding how to draw the eyes. I have one on how to easily draw the nose. And then of course, this one, how to easily draw lips. If you haven't seen the other 2, I'll have a link in the description of the video so that you can check those ones out as well. It's a pretty cool method. It's extremely simple. Those of you that have been following me for a while know that I'm all about simplicity. I might even get it tattooed on me. That's how much I love it. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through. What we do is we start by identifying the corners of the mouth, and then after those are drawn in, we split the upper lip into its 2 respective planes. Once that's done, I'm going to show you how you can use guidelines that stem down from the bottom of the nose and align those with splitting your lower lip into 3 planes. Once that's done, I'm going to show you how you can effectively connect all of the lines together to bring out the 2-dimensional shape of the upper and the lower lips. Once that's done, we're going to switch to the airbrush, and I'm going to highlight some planes, and I'm going to show you where the planes are, and then I'm going to show you exactly where you would want to start to think about establishing your lower values so that you can start to put those in contrast with your higher values and start to mess with volume, right? And bring out the illusion of that 3-dimensional form. So before we jump into it, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, and then turn on all of your notifications so that you never miss when my latest and greatest videos hit the channel here at Messer Creations. Let's get drawn. All right, so to start, the first angle is going to be the straight-on angle. So what I like to do is I like to establish the corners of the mouth first. And then once the corners are established, then I like to split the upper lip into its 2 respective planes. Now, according to the Asaro method, the upper lip is split into 2 planes, and then the planes coming down off the bottom of the nose actually will help you align and split the lower lip into its respective 3 planes. Okay, so we have 2 planes on the top lip, we have 3 planes on the bottom lip. And then of course, once those are drawn in, you can attach the top lip to the corner. And this is where you can really start to bring out the 2-dimensional shape of the mouth that you're drawing. So we have the top lip drawn, and now I'm just going to establish the bottom lip. And a good best practice, especially when you're drawing on paper for the lower lip, is you don't necessarily want to attach that line to the corner of the mouth from the lower lip all the way, right? You kind of want to let it trail off. You want that line quality to get thinner and thinner and thinner as the line dissipates. But then of course the top of the lower lip, you can draw that line all the way over, and you can give that a thicker quality, you know, a heavier line weight, if you will. Okay. And then we don't need these anymore. Like I said, these are more of a guide that you can use if you want to. As you draw lips leaning into the Asaro method more and more, you won't have to necessarily use those if you don't want to. But here I'm going to switch to my airbrush just so we can highlight the different planes, right? So visually, it makes it a little easier to understand. But our first plane is going to be pretty much right here. See this right here? That's plane number 1. And then after that, we have plane number 2. Most of the time, especially with the straight on angle, they are going to be symmetrical to each other. And then the lower lip is split into 1, 2, and then of course 3 separate planes. Now these planes represent a couple things. They do help you with basic shape, obviously, but then the whole point of the Asaro method is to help you identify planes of the face so that you can better understand lighting. Lighting, of course, right here you can see this is to symbolize, this purple color is to symbolize the lower values when you start to actually go in with your pencil and lower those values, right? Because the light is casting straight down, right? Right here, it's coming down from the top. And so whenever your light source is above the head, the way the light is cast, and this is what planes do, they help us to understand this principle. The upper lip is going to be of a lower value, and then underneath the lower lip typically is going to be of a lower value as well. And then in this specific reference photo right here, the 3 planes of the lower lip are of a higher value because of the way the light is casting, all right? Now that's going to vary depending on exactly what the angle is that you're messing with. So let's move on to angle number 2. Now this is a 3/4 turn angle, but we're going to keep our approach the same. We're going to identify the corners of the mouth. Once the corners of the mouth are established, we can then go in and we want to split that upper lip, right? We want to find that center point. And then, of course, we're going to use our guidelines coming down from the bottom of the nose. And then I didn't do this in the last one, but here, just imagine an imaginary plane line here, just like this, right? And then from there, that will help you to draw in the lower plane on the lower lip. And check it out, look at this. See that lower plane line on the right? You see how where the light starts? That right there is a prime example of how the Asaro method is designed principally to help you with your shading, right? And to help you bring out that 3-dimensional form in 2D space. Then we're just going to pull this down and attach it, something like this, right? Again, this is helping us bring out that 2-dimensional shape. And as you use this method more and more, this will become second nature, just like the Loomis heads, right? When we were going over all of those, it's the exact same thing. At first, it's a little like, whoa, I don't know. But the more you do it, the more solidified it'll become, and it'll just be, you'll be like, yep, this is how you draw lips. Super simple, super easy. But I'm just gonna pull this line over here. I'm gonna attach it. Okay. So that is the basic Asaro structure when it comes to the lips in a 3/4 turn. Now, just like the first angle, I'm going to switch it and we're going to go over lighting and plane identification. So first plane, of course, is right here, all right? Plane number 1. Second plane, right here, plane number 2. And that comprises the upper lip. And then here, plane number 3, plane number 4, and then plane number 5. And these 3 planes comprise the lower lip. Now, as far as lighting goes on a 3/4 turn, this one's a little different. If you notice, the lighting's actually coming from above, but it's coming more from the right and from the left. It's kind of a strange lighting situation, but effectively, our lower values are still going to be the upper lip, right? And then, of course, underneath the lower lip, and then, of course, the corners of the mouth. And then right here on the top of the lower lip, right? Every lighting situation is going to be a little different, but these highlights in purple are meant to show you in this specific angle where lower values would reside in the drawing. And then of course the lighting, it comes from the top, it comes from this angle as well. And then obviously it comes from the other side too, where the left side of the lower lip is lit up, right? That lighting is coming from that side. It's not coming from the left side, it's coming from the right side. Okay, so moving on to our last angle, the profile angle. Same thing, start from the corner. When in doubt, stick to your principles, right? So we're going to pull this down, and this is the center line of the upper lip, so we're splitting it in two, even though technically, because of the nature of the angle in this one, we can't see that other plane, but it's there. It's there all the same. And then we have our guideline here, right? So imagine that plane coming down like this, and then of course, we're going to pull the actual plane right there, okay? Those are guidelines. And I would encourage you to use those, at least for the first maybe 50 or 100 lips that you draw. And then after that, you won't need them anymore. Unless, of course, you want to keep them. That's up to you. But now we're going to pull this down. And this is the top of this plane. And, of course, the top of the upper lip. And then we're going to draw these in, which gives us the basic shape of both lips in tandem with each other. But see there, now that we've drawn that line, you can see both of those planes. Now this one, because the angle is a profile angle, yes, there's still 3 planes in the lower lip, but we can only make out 2 of them, right? And that's fine. The angle is gonna change, especially when you draw more and more. But just understand that this is how the angle changes things for the planes. But you still have the 2 right here, right? You still have your 2 planes for the upper lip, and then you have 3 technically, but of course, you can only see 2. Right there, sweet. So those are the planes, and now of course, let's switch and talk about lighting real quick. Got about a minute left in this one, but we're gonna switch to purple. Now the lighting on this one is interesting because check this out right here, boom, this is where your lower value would be. This right here is where your lower value would be. As you can see, the majority of your lower value is going to be on the bottom of the upper lip. And then because of the lighting situation here, the lower value would be underneath the lower lip, right? Because the light's coming from this direction here and this direction here. But just keep the lighting in the back of your mind. Lighting's not necessarily something you have to worry about right off the bat, right? Get the basic structure and the shape down, and then start to think about lighting, because that way you can go in with your pencil or your brush, whatever medium it is that you're drawing with, and you can start to manipulate your medium, and you can start to bring out those lower values, increase that form, and you'll be good to go. Stay happy, stay healthy, and remember, never stop drawing.